Hello, this is Wade, MD Wade of Funny Side Up.
This is Big Boss Will of Funny Side Up Cast.
Yes, and you also said the names in the wrong order, but...
Yeah, welcome to episode 10. I believe this is episode 10.
Yeah, probably.
Our upload schedule is a little fucky right now, but...
Yeah, we're transitioning to a live studio audience.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
For season 2. Season 2 is coming up after episode 15. We're going to take a little break. But yeah, so... right before we started filming the podcast, we had a very... just interesting experiment with TikTok, did we not?
Yeah.
I've never made a TikTok, but we just made 4?
I think even more than that, maybe.
Oh, like 6 now.
Yeah. Which I first started I made TikToks with Gabe at his granddad's house a while ago, just because it was fun to see like what we could create with like these objectively terrible tools.
Yeah.
And I re-downloaded it recently because I wanted to like sort of re-experience that. And I would like to open it by saying that I have probably seen, I'll say 300 TikToks in the past 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked one of them.
Yeah, like actually hit the like button.
Yeah.
And actually enjoyed.
Yeah, and everything else is like
cringe. It's all
cringe, or it's like really sexualized.
Yeah.
Or
yeah, that is a huge issue with TikTok. They're just trying to get that horny clickbait. Like,
yeah, and it's like it's not entertaining. It's not anything. It's just like
diluted porn.
Yeah.
It's just for fellas to get their little, well, for kids almost.
Yeah.
Like,
because most people using TikTok are like young.
Mm-hmm. And you know that any way to get a little young boy to like your stuff is put titties in it.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we should explain what the TikToks were that we made.
Yeah. So you a couple days ago.
It was actually this morning, I think.
Really?
Yeah, that I made that one.
It was Jackson with this old filter on, and it said it was playing Johnny Cash Hurt. I sent it to the group chat like last night.
Yeah.
And the caption on it was like the auto reader said.
It was like me remembering a life of
sin and hurt.
Yeah, sin and hurt.
And we were actually we saw one that was like decent, and it was really small, and you were like, I want to duet it. Yeah. But the lady didn't have duets turned on. It's like, yeah, if you're watching this, then me and you are best friends. So me and Jackson were gonna duet it and like, say some dumb shit like,
I don't know you.
Yeah.
Who are you?
But we couldn't duet it. And so he was showing that like
I can duet my own.
Exactly. And so she must have had duets turned off.
Yeah. Because neither of us, like, to anyone who actually actively uses it, we probably sound like really stupid.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I just started actually using it like 3 days ago. And it's a dumb, convoluted platform for sharing really stupid videos.
I have had it for months probably. And I showed Jackson, anytime I get on it, pretty much all I ever look at is like Naruto like TikToks.
Yeah.
And so it's always like anime related TikToks on the like suggested thing, just because it at least is decent at, curating to what you like.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'll always just get a bunch of Naruto TikToks, and Jackson, the fact that you get the horny stuff, I think that shows something. TikTok,
well, no, it doesn't.
TikTok knows you. How
does it know me?
Because you're hurt.
You pick topics that you're interested in when you first join TikTok,
I must have not. That must be recent, because whenever I downloaded it, I don't think that was a thing.
Well, I picked one thing. I picked science and technology, because that was the only thing even remotely interesting to me that I can recall.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just scantily clad women.
Yeah. It's science. You got to experiment.
I mean,
I'm showing up a lot louder than you are.
Is that so?
Yeah, you're better. I'm probably also talking a bit louder.
Yeah.
But so yeah, season 2. We're about a month away. Like,
We didn't finish elaborating on the TikToks.
we can continue.
Yeah. So Will duetted with it. I set him up with the old filter, right?
Yeah.
And I gave it the caption.
This is my friend.
This was my former army best friend or something.
Yeah.
He died from
World War II related, like,
he died last year of injury sustained during World War II or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I duetted again with myself, and I said, "This is me. I died last year from injury sustained during World War II."
And then we duetted it again with me, and it said, "I don't know how he made that last one."
And then we duetted it again, but green screened myself in dancing to the to the Among Us trap remix.
Yeah.
And then we green screened Will
dancing
over that to
Sexy Back by Justin Timberlake. So
and these are all uploaded individually to my TikTok account because I don't give a shit about it. It's like just garbage.
That's what I was gonna say. I have had TikTok for years. Well, not years, probably a year.
Yeah.
Never made an account.
Mm-hmm.
I've never uploaded TikTok. I've never made one. And that was technically like my first one.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think making them is fun. I think syncing, like, it's set up really well to sync yourself to a song dancing.
That's what it's made for.
Yeah, exactly. And it's very good at that. But, like, I think I was going to say most TikToks in that category. Most TikToks in general just suck. They are terrible.
Yeah.
But you can do funny things with it.
Yeah.
And
it's pretty, like, easy to edit things together, and, like,
yeah,
I've seen some pretty funny ones. Like, there are people out there that actually, like, have talent and use skill when making TikToks and aren't just, like, shaking their ass.
Or it's at least like Donkey, where it's like, I mean, Donkey's like, if you look at like his editing, it's like still frames and shit.
Yeah.
Like seconds long, but like he's got enough like
charisma.
Yeah, charisma and like humor to carry it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like, that's really all you need. You just need to be entertaining. I dropped my phone.
Pog.
But
so today
I was gonna elaborate more.
Continue.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that, like, if I find like maybe 5 more TikToks that I like and I like them, then its algorithm will be like, okay, this guy doesn't like this general bullshit that everyone else is liking.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, I don't know if people are just gullible or if they just don't give a shit, but there's so many multi-part TikToks. It's like, you know, follow or like for.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. They like it. They like it's the fucking, like, not Pavlov's dog, but it's like they give you a little bit of it, and so they're like, you gotta, if this TikTok gets 5,000 likes, I'll upload the next part. Yeah. And that's what, like, YouTubers used to fucking do. It's like, if this video gets 17,000 likes, I'll upload part 2 of my Minecraft series early.
Yeah, I mean, and then like Leafy started doing the ironic version where he's like, if this video gets 2 likes, I will literally breathe air.
Yeah.
Dumb shit like that. That was never funny. But sort of beside the point.
Anyway. I mean, it called out, like, the dumb shit that, you know, that YouTubers actually do. Like whoring, that's all it is. They're just trying to make themselves bigger. And they know that, like, if they make something mildly entertaining, all they have to do is, like, be like, hey, you know, hit me up with so many likes. I know you can do it. Like, just get these likes, and, you know, I'll put out more. Which, I mean, they're gonna put out more anyways because they gotta sustain content.
Yeah. But yeah, beyond those TikToks and my general complaints with TikTok, season 2,
yeah. I think this whole season has almost felt like a pilot season almost, you know?
Yeah.
Like us really adjusting. We're still meta and talk about the podcast on the podcast, but I mean, I was thinking about it. We don't really have anywhere else that we can tell people that listen to the podcast, like, things that we have planned for it.
Yeah.
Like we don't post on Twitter or anything, so it's almost fine, but like
yeah. I mean, if we did have another means to yeah, like you said, reach people, then I'm sure we would do it a lot less.
yeah. We're gonna make t-shirts to celebrate season 1. It's gonna be a very limited run. I'm not ordering extra t-shirts. I'm going to ask everyone if you want to buy one. I will find out how much. If you do not get me the money, I'm not ordering you a t-shirt. Like, I don't have.
Way to treat your fans, Will.
It's a limited run. It's exclusive.
I see.
It means the t-shirts will be more valuable, you know.
Do you have the time?
5:51.
So
Today. Last week was Homer Day.
yes.
Today is Eggman Day.
Yeah, or I think it says Robotnik. No, it says Eggman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've got to clean that.
yeah.
I got to reset it.
But yeah, I drew Eggman on today's date on Will's dry erase calendar. But yeah, the reason I asked for the time was because I woke up at 2 p.m. yesterday.
Yeah.
So because it's about 6 now, it's been 28 hours.
28. Oh. I did a similar thing where I woke up at 7. No, it was probably 9 or 10 yesterday, and I stayed up until about 5 last night.
Yeah.
And then I didn't go to sleep until, well, I went to sleep around 5 or 6, and then woke up at about 9, 10 or 11. I was up around there, and then I haven't gone back to sleep. I went and got a tattoo today. Got my 3rd tattoo. I don't know if I've ever talked about my tattoos, but
let's run through them.
I've got my first one was on my chest. It has I'm named for my dad and granddad, and maybe 7 or 8 more people that share my name.
Yeah.
And so I've got my Roman numeral on my chest and a Latin phrase that says it's ex illisque praecedunt, which means from what has gone before. And like I hate
that.
Huh?
You know Latin? You know that's what that says?
I Google translated it like 15 times, like in different ways to make sure what I was putting on my chest, like I knew what it meant.
Yeah.
And I wasn't putting some like
it's like Chinese tattoos.
Some Japanese kanji or
Yeah.
So yeah, katakana, hiragana,
Yeah.
all those. But yeah, so like I wanted to know what I was putting on my chest because it was my first tattoo. I wanted it to mean something.
That's still a risky move, like Google translating something.
Yeah. They're gonna like do a little more research on Latin and it's gonna mean some like, well, like
I mean, even if it's not that, it's just like what if it's just like incorrect grammar?
Yeah.
If it's just the wrong syntax in Latin.
It's a dead fucking language, so like I don't care. In our language it makes sense.
You should have just done like some made up language like Klingon or something.
Yeah.
I think you can actually pronounce Klingon.
Yeah, you can. Klingon I think it does actually have like the clicks. There's a lot of clicks in it.
Yeah.
My second tattoo, I got Julius Caesar, whom of which we talked about a little bit on the last episode with Colin.
Yeah.
When we were talking about Diogenes nuts.
Yes, him.
But yeah, I got a tattoo of Julius Caesar on my left forearm. Why? I like the design, and I got a lot of shit because I didn't have like a super good reason, but like I paid for it. It's my choice. Like, I like the design a lot. Julius Caesar, he fucking ruled Rome.
Yeah.
Like,
which was like pretty much
peak civilization at the time.
Yeah.
Like, and he, he's something to aspire like towards, as in like, reaching for the highest goal possible.
Yeah.
And then my currently newest tattoo is a purple star on my left trapezoid trapezius muscle. which is from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, my absolute favorite anime, and probably why I'm such a weeb now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say weeaboo somewhere in the middle of that.
Yeah,
because you got a weeaboo tattoo.
I did, and I'll probably get a couple more anime tattoos.
Yeah, I've mentioned it to Will, but not on the podcast. I'm pretty sure that the only tattoo I've ever considered getting, and the only one I would ever get, is the 50 Blessings logo on my right shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Just because Hotline Miami is my favorite thing of all time ever.
Yeah, it's a huge inspiration to you.
Yeah, made me what I am.
It's like anime and me.
Yeah, but like mine's cooler.
Yeah, I mean, to each his own.
Whatever.
But no, I don't think on the original episode I wanted to talk a lot more about your music and games than we did, because I think we were still figuring it out back then. But
yeah,
I think that's something like we could just talk about for a long time.
I can try.
I was gonna say you started making music. You said when you were like 6th or 7th grade, right?
6th grade, yeah.
That was when you made your first song.
Yeah. Well, actually,
your first like song. Did you say it was your first song you were like proud of, or like?
So if you want to get technical, starting in like probably 3rd grade, I would just go on the Pirate Bay and just like download software that I thought looked cool. And
I didn't know what the Pirate Bay was until you got probably Premiere for me that one time. I didn't even know that was a fucking thing.
Yeah, I don't even remember how I found out about it. I just did, and I learned like I can get all this stuff for free.
Mm-hmm.
And me being
a dumb 3rd grader.
Yeah, like I was 9. I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Why doesn't everyone do this?
Yeah, why don't they?
Yeah, I like torrented Skyrim and played through like probably 15 or 20% of the story at like 6 frames a second, because I had a really shitty computer. But yeah, I like downloaded FL Studio, some really old version. It was like 9, I think, and I made like, I'll say no more than 10 like songs in quotation marks. I made them all in one pattern, and they were terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But that was technically my first start. So it was like 3rd or 4th grade when I actually first used FL Studio, and then in 6th grade I actually picked it up and stuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I probably made the first thing I was actually proud of in like 7th grade.
Do you remember I figure you do the name of the song?
It was, there were a few things that I made that were like, it has this cool element in it.
Mm-hmm.
But then the first song that where everything just like meshed together well was Camden Dream, which is like way on down my SoundCloud.
Yeah.
But which the upload date on it, I uploaded it well after I made it to SoundCloud, so it doesn't actually reflect when I made it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it's probably the earliest thing that's on my SoundCloud. It was just uploaded after like probably 6 other songs, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then
I
think it's about it on that.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about how like you've definitely gone through phases in your music, like phases and styles, and definitely like just a progression of talent, like finding what how you portray yourself artistically through your music.
Yeah. It's mostly like a subconscious thing for me, since I never like, I spent time watching FL Studio tutorials to learn like
how the program actually works.
Yeah, and like the names of things, I guess, but as far as like music theory goes and like how to actually
works.
Yeah, the most basic way I can put it is like where to put what notes.
Mm-hmm.
All of that was just like trial and error, I guess.
You taught yourself music theory essentially.
Yeah, I guess my own weird bastardized version of it.
Yeah. Have you ever like actually sat down and watched a music theory course? Or
I've tried it a few times. I think I've probably tried to actually learn it like, I'll say 4 times now. Mm-hmm. I cannot be bothered.
Do you think that if you tried, your music would be any like, I wouldn't say better, because like do you think you could be more proficient, I guess, at producing your songs? Or do you think the fact that you have never learned music theory is something that kind of you feel like makes your music unique?
I think that it might help it be more unique, but at the same time, I struggle with shooting for a particular tone, unless it's something that I've done a lot of. So,
well, you've done a lot of like boss battle type music, and you played one earlier that I was like really impressed with. The one you played at Taco Bell.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna say the name of it because it doesn't matter. It's like none of my file names are permanent usually, but
yeah. That's like Lil Pump has ass cancer turned into
Bruh
Moment.
Yeah. And as of like the past 3 weeks, like I'll just be making a song when I'm in a call with my girlfriend, and I'll just be like, "Hey, give me a song title." Just like say some random words. I'll type it down. That's it. But what were we talking about?
Music.
Yeah, music.
Talking about
your
music theory, like not knowing it.
Yeah, it like there was this guy who had me on 2 contract jobs.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he actually did pay me for them. And then there was this one time where he asked me to do like a happy sort of carefree type chiptune, which I would probably be better at now, but at the time I couldn't get it right. Like I had made nothing but songs in like
that were like gritty,
like minor Aeolian scale for years.
Yeah,
that's all I ever cared to make. Like I don't know, not much for happy.
I was gonna say, a lot of your music is either like rough, gritty, like kind of hard, like chiptune, or it's kind of like depressing, like a sad tone. Like Crystal Guilt is like arguably like one of your best songs.
Yeah.
But
Crystal Guilt sounds like self-destruction to me.
Yeah. The song itself.
Like,
yeah. It was made in a rough time.
It was.
And it like I think it's easily one of the best like reflections of like emotion, because like anytime I hear it, I like get that sense of emotion from it. And it's I've always said, like, if an artist makes you feel something through their medium, they're doing something right. Like,
and that's
like that song, you did something right. Like you expressed yourself and expressed it in such a way like other people could feel it.
Yeah.
And it's like, there are songs out there like Hurt. Like if you listen to Hurt, you can feel the pain that he was feeling.
Yeah.
Like, I know Johnny Cash didn't write the song, but like his version of the song, reflected on his own life.
Yeah. If he wasn't actually like just feeling absolutely horrible, then he did a pretty damn good job of conveying it.
Yeah. No, he I think he died like 6 months after he filmed or recorded his version of the song.
Yeah.
He made one last album, and he was at the point in his life where like he did a lot of prescription drugs and stuff when he was you should watch I think it's The Line, but Joaquin Phoenix, it's a biopic on Johnny Cash where Joaquin Phoenix plays him.
Yeah.
And it is good. It is a really good film. Joaquin did a really good job playing him. And I think Joaquin actually sings like all the songs. But I watched it and was already a pretty big fan of Johnny Cash, but like, I was a decent fan, but like it made me really like, you can understand his music a bit more. Like,
yeah,
actually, I've actually been watching a lot of biopics recently. Music biopics in particular. Because like forever ago, I watched Bohemian Rhapsody, probably one of the first ones I watched. Then I watched The Line, and then I watched Rocket Man.
Yeah,
about Elton John. That was pretty good. I didn't think he was as good as Bohemian Rhapsody when it came to like 80s rock stars. Like,
yeah,
Rocket Man is a musical, which I was actually really surprised about, and it was kind of a nice change of pace rather than it just being like a straight music biopic. But it the musical aspect was actually pretty intriguing. And then I watched Straight Outta Compton, and then I watched All Eyes on Me. So like the NWA biopic and then the Tupac biopic, both were really good. But it like watching those, I feel like it puts you in like what they were going through when they were writing certain songs and stuff, and like reading articles or reading like Wikipedia entries or what be it on artists and the things they went through doesn't really give you that sense of like what they were feeling, what they were going through in their life while they were going through everything. And like I've always been a pretty big Tupac fan, but like I never really knew when certain parts of his music came out, because at one point he went to jail because he was accused of rape, which he got acquitted on the rape charges but was convicted for like inappropriate touching or something like that. But like the film obviously probably depicts a bias of it, but like he was like asleep in a room and he like turned down this one girl who like had a thing for him, and she was raped by two other guys, and all three of them were going to get charged, but one of them had like connections and like got him and the other guy free and threw everything on Tupac, according to the film. I haven't read up on anything, so I don't know like what the whole event, like how everything took place, but like that's how the film portrays it. And I imagine they probably tried to stay somewhat factual, but he went through that and then went to jail, and he was in prison for like a year and a half or so. And then he had like a lot of his music came before that, and then he maybe he dropped 3 albums after he came out of prison.
I thought you were going to say while he was in prison.
No. I actually read something where he said that prison was like one of the biggest artistic drains on him ever. Like he did not write anything. Yeah, from what I can tell.
I could see that.
Like because he felt like he was like wrongfully accused. Like he was taking the blame for something other people did. Yeah. And so like I think that really fucked with him. But it was interesting because he wrote films, and he wrote a lot of his music is poetry, and like you can buy a poetry book that is his everything he wrote. Yeah. And a lot of it's really deep. Like he was a really smart guy, and he had a way with words. But that's my TED talk on biopics.
Yeah, you talking about movies, and you said connections. You know what that reminds me of?
What's that?
Nobody.
Nobody is so good.
It was a phenomenal movie.
We watched it
me
earlier this
Colin,
week.
And surprise encounter with Blake. Crispy plays.
Yeah, he showed up.
Through.
He knew that I was there. He didn't know that they were there.
Yeah. I never saw a trailer for it before I saw the movie, so I had no expectations. I just knew that I'm pretty sure it was like directed by the same guy who directed
John Wick.
John Wick, yeah.
And it had Bob Odenkirk, good old Better Call Saul.
Yeah, and I love Bob Odenkirk. I think he's great. Like even if you didn't know him for Breaking Bad, he did
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul. It's like Mr. Show with Bob and something. I don't know. His partner that he just had that sketch comedy show with.
I've never seen it.
I've heard good things.
I didn't know he was a comedian.
Yeah, he was. Funnily enough, I'm pretty sure that he's the reason that Tim and Eric took off. Oh. Yeah, he like initially supported them.
He seems like a really cool dude.
Yeah. I remember watching an interview with him, like when his son got COVID or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he just comes across as a good dude, and yeah, I was expecting Nobody to just be John Wick, but with Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah,
But like,
that's kind of what I was expecting.
yeah, the movie doesn't take itself seriously.
It does, but it doesn't. Like it has like he has quippy lines.
Yeah, and there are like some lines that are like
the fucking kitty cat bracelet.
Spoilers.
No, those are not spoilers.
Maybe not, but
there's a line about a kitty cat bracelet.
Yeah,
and he says
like in the middle of a very serious scene.
Yeah, like arguably like probably the most serious scene in the whole movie because like of what ends up happening like literally 3 seconds later.
Yeah, and he says the motherfucking kitty cat bracelet. Like he's actually like
angry.
Yeah, over this little bracelet,
little trinket.
Yeah, but like the fight choreography is probably the best I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah,
like
no, it arguably was like on par, if not probably better than some of the scenes in John Wick.
I honestly think it was better than John Wick because a lot of John Wick's, I haven't seen chapter 2 or 3 of John Wick, but a lot of the scenes in John Wick 1 are like him taking down dudes with a silenced pistol.
Yeah, there's a lot of gunplay.
Yeah,
and there's not a lot of gunplay in this one.
Yeah, there's
bits and pieces.
Yeah, but like a lot of it is like hand to hand, like melee combat, and that's a lot more interesting. And
yeah,
they pull it off very well.
There was once again, I'm just gonna say a general like spoiler warning from this point on because like I want to talk about it.
I mean, I don't know. We're like halfway through the episode, but like by doing that, anyone who hasn't seen Nobody is you're alienating them.
That's what I'm saying. It's all right.
Man.
Okay. So, Jackson will put in a clip saying when to skip to for no more spoilers. Maybe.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
But there's a scene on the bus fight. Oh, spoiler warning here on. Where he is holding like 2 guys up under his arms and one guy like runs into him or something like that. So he goes down the aisle and they both like go into the seats and like the impact on like all 3 of them hitting the ground is like they convey that so well that I was like really surprised just at that one little like choreographed part. That I was like, oh wow, that was cool. Like you don't ever like see a dude like trying to hold on to 2 guys and then they all get separated by like one push.
Yeah.
And like the tracheotomy scene.
Oh yeah.
Like shit like that always makes me uncomfortable, but like I like tried to watch it and it was good. Yeah.
And something really cool about it is like the actual overarching plot, it isn't like perfect, but it's engaging. Like if you don't like just purely action movies, I think there's still something to be enjoyed from Nobody, which is it's interesting because
there are a few subplots like the guy on the radio.
Yeah. And it's really interesting because you are unraveling who the main character is, which is something that is not done very often in really any media where like he is shown as a nobody. Like like the beginning of the movie like shows that he has this boring ass job and his family doesn't respect him.
It opens with an interview.
Yeah.
But like that kind of like, you know, is to hook you in, but then it immediately cuts to like his monotonous routine.
Yeah. Which is also a pretty good
like cut together.
Yeah, it's like
it starts off slow, like kind of showing every day, and then it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah,
and then it even skips the weekends. Like his weekends don't even exist.
Yeah,
and like we joked while we were watching the movie, he's like, what happened to Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah,
and but you know, looking back, it is to show that like it's like
his life is just this routine.
Yeah. It's not. It's like his life doesn't even exist, or his work, his non-work life.
Yeah, which
and that's kind of shown with his relationship with his family.
Yeah, and it's a decent twist that he is like this trained killer because it's a very good subversion of expectations when you see this guy who has a job in data entry just like typing in numbers in spreadsheets all day, and he's like he's just so low in the totem pole.
Which his family, well, his son, I think his wife knew what he did for the FBI.
Yeah. Because she like heals his wounds later, and she's like, it's this again.
Like the old days.
Yeah.
But his son like is having to do a thing for his school, like a report
where he interviews a veteran, or something like that.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, Dad, could I interview you?" And he's like, "No, I was just an auditor," which is what it was called, what his role was called, because he would go and tie up loose ends.
Yeah, and that's another good thing, because auditor is such a boring role. It makes you think like taxes and shit.
Exactly. He was an FBI auditor. Sounds like someone that would like just go through departments at the FBI and like make sure everything is like,
just working with paperwork and like getting everything organized to file an audit.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
in reality, he goes and
his exact words were like, if they couldn't pay, then something.
No. If I know he was saying that like if there were guys that I'm the last guy that you want to have to call. Yeah, is one line that he had about it, saying like, you know, he is like the peak of the totem in that world, where it's like if a problem needs to be handled and no one else can do it, he is the guy that will get it done.
Yeah, and the main theme, which first of all is explained with a monologue to a guy who is dying, which is like really smart, because it's like it's an excuse for him to talk to himself and it not be like forced. Because like this guy's about to die, he doesn't matter. You can
forced exposition.
Yeah, but the main theme of the entire story is like that this life that he wanted, because he like saw someone that he had to collect from with like his family and like, you know,
I don't think he ever like collected from anyone. It was him killing them. Like that was collecting.
Yeah, but he saw this guy who was a target with his family. He looked really happy, and he wanted that.
The one time he didn't kill someone, like because he let the guy like talk.
Yeah.
And tell him his side or whatever. And Hutch, the main character, was like, I actually felt like he was being for sure. And he's like, I checked in on him a couple years later.
Yeah, and he looked like the happiest guy on earth because he has this family.
And he was jealous.
Yeah, and then Hutch has this life and he hates it. Like, like I said, he's not respected by his family. He has a boring dead-end job. So when he gets robbed, he jumps on the opportunity to like get back some of his lifestyle, and you know, because that falls through for the same reason, family. Because like the people who robbed him, we never even explained that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess by this point, if you're listening, then you already know what happens. I would hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got robbed. He didn't attack them, but because he was trying to stay with his new morals, his new lifestyle.
He was in front of his family. He was going to beat the fucking shit out of them, but he realized no bullets in the gun. Yeah. They had a facade, like they weren't going to do anything.
Exactly, and his son thought he was weak for it.
Yeah,
and so did like the cop who was like,
the cop fucking shat on him.
Yeah, he was like, oh, if this was my family,
you know, I wouldn't
elaborate.
Yeah,
but. Yeah.
Damn pizza box.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he tracked down the people who robbed him. They literally took like a few dollars and
that's all.
The
watch,
cat bracelet.
They stole his watch. Yeah. He's like, I loved like that's another instance of where the film doesn't take itself too seriously. Where he's like, they're like, give me whatever's in your wallet, and he's like, I don't keep cash. I use a debit card. I thought that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, there's so many like the big shootout scene at the end where he like fucking wipes the day since accident.
Yeah,
sign, like in the middle of him getting fired at. It's like that is one of the main differences between it and John Wick.
Yeah, John Wick takes itself very seriously.
Yeah, and that's fine. But like, I think in my personal opinion, nobody is more enjoyable for what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, final rating is probably like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, easily.
It's a great movie.
41 minutes. So welcome back. You've missed about 10 minutes of podcast talk.
Yeah. And if you skipped it because you haven't seen Nobody, go watch it.
Go watch it.
It is a phenomenal movie, and it's probably going to be on Netflix very soon, if not HBO Max or whatever, you know?
Yeah, it's probably already on HBO Max.
Yeah.
There are ways to watch it without going to the theater.
Yeah, I mean, you can get it on Vudu or whatever the fuck it's called.
Lookmovie.ag. Just use a VPN.
It reminds me of that tweet that's like, last time I watched bootleg movies because, like, the dude recording turned the camera around and said, "This is my favorite part."
I saw one tweet that was like, "I'll be fighting for my life to get the get it the full screen on Look Movies 1 2 3 or whatever." Isn't the internet something?
Yeah.
Like, we have come so far as a society. Well, as a population, as like a species,
Yeah.
the fact that we have like this interconnected network that like we have a friend who lives, I have like probably 1,000, 2,000 miles south, like in Argentina, that like he's a cool dude. Like, and we wouldn't know him if it wasn't for this system.
Yeah.
That has been put in place.
That actually, I was thinking about something similar to that. You know the 6 handshakes rule, 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah, yeah.
First of all, I want to look into that and see like when that, not really theory, but like idea was first formed.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know if it was pre or post internet, because if it's pre, then like that number is actually probably a whole lot smaller.
Yeah, I think it's like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Like because of the internet.
There's actually a formula you can use where
we talked about this.
Yeah, you take the natural log of a given population,
mm-hmm.
and you divide it by the natural log of the approximate connections each person has. Or
yeah.
It may be the reciprocal of that, but at any rate, it's like an actual thing you can get an approximation for.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's just really cool. And I want to know if the internet was taken into account with the 6 handshakes rule.
Yeah. No, I think that's amazing, because hypothetically, so connecting you to someone that is dead, you know, like say Vladimir Lenin.
Yeah.
Do you think that it would count saying that we had a history teacher that went to Paris where, did you know that there's a spot in Paris where when Hitler invaded, he took a picture in front of the Eiffel Tower, and they have that like area like blocked off, and they ripped up the tiles that he was standing on when he took that picture. Like that's almost like just fear of a dead man, where it's like, this man stood here. We're not like,
I don't know if fear is the right word, but it's like utter contempt is like, yeah, it's like, you know, it's hard to find a more hated guy than Hitler.
Yeah. No, which arguably I feel like there should be people that are Hitler level people, like Stalin.
Yeah, I mean,
like Stalin
easily killed more people.
Yeah, like, well, if you count every person that the German army killed besides the Jews, like the Jewish Holocaust, like, yeah, that alone, that's what people will directly be like, oh, fuck Hitler, which, yes, fuck Hitler, but like all of his men still technically killed Americans, killed British, French, you know. He made it all the way to France. Like, he was in Paris. They had that shit. Yeah. Which is insane. Like, that one man with an army even like not even 100 years ago, that's only like 80 years ago, isn't it? World War II, 1940.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, like it's insane that it wasn't even that long ago that someone made it all the way, like from Germany, taking over countries into Paris.
Yeah.
Like that's incredible. That's an incredible feat.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting that arguably the most hated person in history is so recent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
but on the other hand, Stalin,
Stalin,
the way he ran the Soviet Union was so like atrocious.
Yeah.
Like arguably worse than, well, I wouldn't say worse, but arguably equal to how Hitler treated the Jews.
Yeah.
Because like he had no care for his general population.
Exactly.
Like the KGB would snatch you up for saying something bad about Stalin, like saying that you disagreed with what he said. They would send you to the actual gulag, the prison labor camp.
Yeah.
And like there's nothing you could do about it because you didn't know who was listening.
Yeah.
And I think the calculation of how many people Stalin was responsible for like the death of was somewhere around like 21 million. And they were all Russians. They were all his own people.
Yeah.
And like that in and of itself is fucked.
You you reminded me.
But he was an ally with us at the time, so it's not like at times it seems like it's glossed over in comparison to Hitler, where at the same time, like we're technically allies with Stalin in World War II. And, that ended up leading to the Cold War. But at the same time, Hitler was doing things at the same time. And, he's the one that everyone points the finger at. And, like, few people actually recognize how bad of a person Stalin was.
Yeah. But on the subject of the Holocaust, I had to do a book report on, I think it's called Night by Elie Wiesel or something like that. Mm-hmm. But something really interesting is that, so Jewish people who survived the Holocaust, who went to concentration camps and made it out alive.
Like Anne Frank's dad.
Yeah. The vast majority of them lost all their faith. But the ones who didn't were convinced it was because the Jews had done something.
They killed Jesus.
Yeah, to deserve that. Like God was punishing them.
Yeah.
Which is, like, I can't tell what's worse, Well, I guess
losing your faith or justifying it by your faith.
Yeah, I need to take that back. I think justifying it is worse.
Yeah.
But
I don't think anything could justify the Holocaust. Like it was just the pure wrath and hatred of a racist man.
Yeah.
Arguably insane man too.
There's a lot of things that, like, you can say it was 11 million Jewish people.
See, I always hear like 6 or 7.
It may be that. I could totally be wrong.
But I've always heard either that number is a little too big or a little too small. Like I think that's like the estimate.
I'll say millions. I'll say you can say millions of people were killed because of their religion, right?
Mm-hmm. Jewish is also a race, right? Yeah. So religion and
both
ethnicity.
Right? But and like you can hear that and you can be like, that's terrible.
Yeah.
But like there are, and it sounds obvious saying it like this, like when you read into it, of course it's going to be worse, but like the actual extent that it goes to, where it's like you have sons killing their fathers over bread.
Yeah.
Like it would bring people to do that. Like someone who raised you and cared for you and loved for you, that you would just kill them just so you could survive because you are confused by your place in the world and you're just so frustrated and angry and your living conditions are terrible and you it's being treated like animals.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, they didn't just go in and put a bullet in everyone's head.
Yeah.
They took them alive and put them in the worst possible conditions.
Yeah, it was like, it's literally torture.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get a painless death. You exist to suffer.
It's crazy that Hitler was able to convince the German population that, you know, that is what they needed to do.
Yeah.
That, like, it was the right thing to do.
Totally unrelated. But this is actually, I had to do a 20 slide presentation on American plays 2 days ago.
Yeah, we talked about this.
And there was a play based on a true story of a transgender woman who killed her Nazi father at a young age and ended up surviving like the Nazi regime and like grew up to like write an autobiography and everything. And it's like that's so strange. Like that's such a unprecedented thing for that time. Like,
yeah,
why have I not heard of this before?
Yeah,
like you've heard of Anne Frank because she was a young girl who kept a diary, which was like
her living through hiding, and then did she keep the diary while she was in camp? I can't remember.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, it was the period of time where they were in the like attic.
Yeah, when she was hiding. But to be what was such a small minority at the time of being transgender in the 1940s, being transgender anywhere in the 1940s would have been like totally taboo.
Yeah.
But like in Nazi Germany, and then you go on to kill your father,
who is a Jew, or not a Jew, sorry, a Nazi.
A Nazi as a young child.
Yeah.
And then you grow up and
make it through that shitty like regime.
Yeah, it's like, why are people not talking about this?
Yeah.
It's I read the like first 2 sentences of the synopsis of this play and I was like
mind blown.
I was like, there's no way this is real. Like this is like a weird alternate history fictionalized thing, but no, it's
100% true.
Exactly.
But I think that's just a reflection on society. It's like, if that was not a transgender female, like, that probably would be a big thing.
Yeah.
I think it is because she was transgender. And so, like, up until now, probably if that, like, got brought up to some, like, big playwright, which it's a play.
Yeah.
If it could probably be something big, like, nowadays, and would probably have a big backing.
Yeah.
But, like, I think it is just because of, like, you know, how society has been towards transgender people.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, on the topic of Nazis, Quentin Tarantino's film *Inglourious Bastards*,
yes,
depicts arguably one of the best characters in the film is also a villain. Hans, I want to say Hans Gruber, but that's Die Hard. Do you know what his last name is?
Zimmerman.
See, I kept wanting to say Zimmerman too, but that's a musician.
Yeah, composer.
What's his name? Christoph Waltz's character. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Christoph Waltz. He's the guy in Django.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't. I've never seen *Inglourious Bastards*, but
you need to watch the opening scene, where Christoph Waltz interrogates a Dutchman who is hiding Jews, and Hans Landa. I think just because of what an amazing actor Christoph Waltz is, his portrayal as this German SS like lieutenant, he's a high ranked dude, and he is known as I want to say he's called the Jew Hunter. He interrogates this Dutchman, and like everything that Quentin Tarantino like had, like the camera angles, the way he, like, Christoph like works his eyes, his entire body language conveys so much that he's not saying with his mouth, and then the body language of the Dutchman, like the Flying Dutchman, of course.
Yes.
He conveys so much, and it shows the power dynamic that the Nazis had over people that they would just come in contact with, because like his rank alone did so much for him, and he was known like by name because like he asks the guy, and then he ends up they're both speaking Dutch or French or something like that, and he changes the language to English. He like asks if he can speak in English, which makes it easier for film watchers because the subtitles and stuff.
Yeah.
But that was also, once again, like another power move that he had over the Dutchman. And so I think you should really watch that film. If not, watch that opening scene.
Yeah, I'll probably end up watching it just because.
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, I've only seen one of his movies. I've only ever seen Django. But Django was really good.
Pulp Fiction is really good.
Yeah, I've heard very good things.
It's one of those films that is not linear.
Yeah,
it has a linear story that is broken up, and it's several stories happening at once.
Yeah,
from different that start and end at different times, but they overlap so much, and it's done really well. And I can see why it's his like big breakout film. But
I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick.
We're probably almost done. Okay, that's fine. I've got to run and grab Aquaphor for my tattoo.
Yeah. Like this.
Hell yeah.
One of you duetting to the original, like the second iteration, has the most views.
Hell yeah.
It has 43.
Nice. Yeah. Do what? Come again?
Guy Fawkes.
Yeah.
Should I do it?
What do you mean? Oh, grow it out? Yeah. I probably could.
No, I want to do that because that's like it'd be convenient because I can't grow anything here. So.
Yeah.
That's the new meta. Step on it.
Yeah. And that's what I started doing over here. We were talking. Okay, so. All right, we're back from Jackson's pee break.
Yeah. I drank an energy drink.
Before we actually wrap it up, because we are nearing the end, there is this dude on. I know he's on Snapchat, but I'm gonna look up and see if he's on YouTube. He's called True Hacks. I swear he is fucking insane. Like, he is a psychopath.
What makes you say that?
Let me just show you the way he like talks. Like, I'm gonna let Jackson watch this real quick. He has no facial expression when he talks. He has inflections in his voice, but his face doesn't reflect any of it. Like when he laughs, he's so straight faced. And he's like, the way he cuts his videos together.
Widen his eyes.
Yeah, he widens his eyes, but like the lower half of his face, like he doesn't do both. Yeah, here you go. You know what I mean?
It's like he's an alien.
Yeah.
He's like feigning human emotion.
Yeah, like bro is just weird. Like, yeah. I keep looking at his stuff on Snapchat because he's got like a Snapchat show or whatever. But bro needs to go to acting school or something.
Yeah, I think your problem is you're looking at things on Snapchat.
True.
Snapchat functions well for,
communication.
Yeah, but like
no, all of the Snapchat like story shows are shit.
You sent me like this video one time of like this dude that was like born with some condition, but he played Counter-Strike and he was really good at it.
Yeah.
And I got an ad about every 10 seconds I watched of it.
Yep.
I made it about a minute through. That's 6 ads. Like,
yeah.
That's a lot.
Why don't we put our hour-long podcast on Snapchat stories?
We'd be billionaires.
We would be fucking rich.
Yeah, but that's selling your soul. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
But yeah, no. Snapchat, terrible content. Like absolutely dreadful. I don't think. Have you seen like the phony text?
Yes, I fucking hate phony text.
Yes, it's. There's this joke that Drew Gooden made, like making fun of how stupid of a pun it was. He was like calling these phony texts is like sending a computery email. But yeah.
Yeah. You see, the beautiful thing about audio only podcasts, and it's why I fear for, visual and audio, like AV podcasts, because like I can do shit to fuck with Jackson and it not be picked up on camera. Like I don't do much, but like there are times where like I'll cuddle up with a blanket and Jackson was going to comment on that one time. But like, I feel like we'll have to be so much more professional. Like I'm wearing a shirt where my literal nipple is like hanging out and I'm just comfortable. I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's going to wrap up this episode. I was playing with my nipple.
Yeah, that's what was happening. And I was going to say, I promise I won't tell a soul, but hey, you...
let the world know.
Yeah.
I was just kind of poking it, but...
I was making eye contact with his nipple for like half a minute.
Nipple eye contact?
Yeah, it was...
It winked at him. Like,
yeah, I lost that staring contest, though.
Here's the wink.
Stare into the abyss, and the abyss stares back.
You can see your soul inside the abyss.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, totally unrelated, but Pulp Fiction inspired Hotline Miami 2, telling its story out of order.
Oh, Pog.
Yeah.
I think it probably inspired a lot of movies to do that, which I don't know what it drew its inspiration from, but I definitely know it wasn't the first thing to do that.
Yeah, it's just a cool idea. It's like, it gives you a little bonus challenge. Try to piece everything together. There
is actually an edit of the film that takes place in chronological order.
Really?
Yeah. It starts with like this flashback that Bruce Willis has where Christopher Walken tells him a story about keeping a watch up his ass while he was in like the Vietnam or the Viet Cong like POW camps.
Yeah.
But it's pretty funny. But yeah, so thank you for listening to the podcast. If you liked it, like, comment, subscribe. Have a good night. Have a good morning. I'm your host, Big Boss Will. Your other host
is me.
Say your fucking line.
Wade in the Wade from Eastern Europe.
I am Hans. No, I am Lenny from
Lenny Sander.
Lenny Sander.
We didn't even talk about that shit.
Yeah, we meant to talk about how to sell drugs online fast, which we've the show. Yeah, yes. not the method,
not the practice.
But we'll save that for next week if we remember.
Yeah, I mean it's a phenomenal show.
Anyway. It is. Check it out. Watch it, and so when the next episode comes out, you'll be ready.